Hello Year 9 students. This is the third NAPLAN mini test in numeracy where we will do 5 questions in 10 minutes and it is aimed for standard level. This question aims to find out whether you understand exponential functions and you know how to write them. The function that they're asking for is 3 to the power of 4 and I've rewritten it here so that you can see it. Now there are two numbers over here. One of them is a big 3 and the other is a little 4 which has been raised, and we usually say that it's raised to the power of 4, and so 4 is called the power number. It is a very powerful number because it tells you what you're going to do with the number 3, which is the base. Well, you're going to multiply the base 4 times. So we will write 3 multiplied by another 3, multiplied by the third 3, and then multiplied by the fourth 3, because it's powered to the power of 4. Anything raised to a power will have to be multiplied that many times. For instance, and just for fun, let's pretend we have an icy pole and it's raised to the power of 4. What would we write, or how would we write this? Icy pole times icy pole times icy pole. How many icy poles? 4, because it's been raised to the power of 4. The answer we'll highlight is B. Some percentages are easy to remember as fractions. So if I had 50%, that would be equal to a half. If I had 25%, then you'll know that that's a quarter. So it will be 1 over 4. And if we did 20%, then that would be 1/5 of 100. And another easy one would be 10%, because 10% would be just 1 over 10. But 15% is not a nice fraction. But what I think of 15%, I can think of 15% as being 10% plus 5%. Now, I know what 10% is, so 10% of 180, 10% of 180 is going to be 180 divided by 10, and that's equal to 18. And 5% would be half of 10%. So that means it would be equal to 18 divided by 2, which is equal to 9. Now if I add these two numbers together, 18 and 9, that will give me, here I write 18 plus 9, that will give me 27, which is 15%. So 27 is the answer that we require to write up in here. So Henry here bought 3 pens for $1.65. What was the average price per pen? For each pen, we need to divide $1.65 by 3. We cannot use a calculator. The easiest way to start this problem is by changing the fact that $1.65 is the same thing as saying 165 cents. Then we don't have to worry about the dollars and cents. We'll just worry about cents. Now, we've got 3 pens. Can we divide 3 into 165. 3 into 1 doesn't go, but 3 into 16 will go how many times? 5 times. Our leftover is 1, because 3 times 5 is 15 and there's 1 left over. So now we can ask ourselves, how many times does 3 go into 15? 3 goes into 15 5 times. Now this is all in cents, so therefore the answer is 1 pen will cost 55 cents. Now in our box up there, did you see that it's been cheeky because they've actually put down a dollar sign in front of here? So they want you to put this answer in terms of dollars. What will 55 cents in terms of dollars look like? In terms of dollars, it will look like $0.55 cents. So that's what because there's no dollars, just 55 cents. So we'll just write here 0.55. The dollar already is in front. In this question, Paris divided 234 by a number and got 2.34 as her answer. What number did Paris divide by? Did you notice that the difference between the two is that this number is 234 and the number that she got was 2.34. So from 234 she ended up with 2.34. What's the difference? The difference here is the point, the decimal point. So if we want to move a decimal which was right at the very end and we moved it up by 1 digit, what did you do? You divided it by 10. And if you decided to move that decimal point 1 more digit to there, then you also divided it by 10 here. And so if the digit was moved from behind 4 all the way up to between 2, that means that it must have been divided by 100. And so what number did Paris divide the 234 to get to 2.34? She had to divide it by 100. And this is a very tricky question because it says that 3/4 of a number is 24. Okay, so you need to be able to understand that it is 24. What is the number? So that means it will be more than 24. Okay, in these kind of cases, it's very, very simple if you remember one trick. To find out what the number is, we will take 3/4 and what we will do is swap these two, the numerator and the denominator. So that will become 4 on 3. Just a swap. And now we can multiply this by 24. So to do that, we multiply 4 by 24 and times it and divide it by 3. Now I can do some simplification by dividing 24 by 3, and that's going to be 8 here. So my number is looking at 4 times 8. And 4 times 8 is equal to 32. So the number will be 32. And 3/4 of that number is going to be 24, which is correct. So this was the last question in this little mini test, and stay tuned for the 4th version.